Right, in the first two videos we covered how to enter your COVID-19 transactions either on a week-to-week basis or on a preloaded basis. In this quick video I wanted to show you, for those of you who need it, how to figure out what an employee's normal looks like and how to do that calculation. So the first thing we need to do is know what the employee's hourly rate is. So if you go into Crystal, because some of you will have more than a handful of employees, you go to the pay rate analysis, you enter the date as at date, which can be today, and you would obviously leave it ticked for current employees only. Now, if I print this to screen, you'll see what information I'm going to get in a second when it loads. Now, this will be a bit slow because it's running in a shared space with my screen share app. So now I can see each employee and what their hourly rate is. So that's information. Now, if I only got a few employees, I can print that out and just use that as a calculation. But if I've got more than a few employees, what you can do is, I'll just close this, you can choose the email option, or email and export option, and I would then choose that to be Excel, and I would export that. Now what that will do is it will create an Excel spreadsheet, which I'll just save for now. And it's downloaded the Excel spreadsheet here, so I will open that Excel spreadsheet. Now if it doesn't download it because of the way you've got your browser set up, it'll probably be in your downloads folder. If I open that Excel spreadsheet now, I will see that same report, but in an Excel format. In a second it will catch up with me. So now I've got the report in Excel. So what I can do now is use Excel to do some calculations. So if I just enable my editing. So the first thing you need to do to be able to use this particular report is it's currently designed to look like a report on a normal A4 page, so it's got some merge fields. So the first thing you do is click on the top left-hand corner and click on the merge and center option, which will unmerge everything. And then if you double click on any of the lines between the letters, like this, it will then expand into a format that you can use. So now I've got all the information. So what I would do is I would get rid of everything to the right of this, because I don't need that information. So now I've got some spare space. What I would also do is just click on the column which has got the wage rates in it and change that to a number. Now, obviously, if you've got someone who's got a salary, then what you would need to do is put in what that equivalent rate is. So in this case, it would be $25. And so with this one, but whatever their rate is, if you've got that stored, the equivalent of their salary represents, then what I can do is do some sums. So I can put in here standard hours, and the next column I would put in the normal income. Now I'll just make those fit properly. Now, if you need help with this, just let us know, because the team and I can give you a hand to do this. And so I've now got that there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to put in that this person, say, does 40 hours, this one does 25 hours, this one does, not sure why it's doing that, so I'll just go and select that whole column and make that, again, a number. So this one now is doing 25 hours, doing 30 hours. So once I've got their standard hours in, I then go to the next column. I select the first field. I go up to my calculation cell and I would enter equals sum. Now, if you know how to use Excel, this will be obvious. If you don't know how to Excel, this is the step. So that is equaling the sum of this field. And then if you use the asterisk, that is the times symbol, this field, and then I put a close bracket. Now, as soon as I hit enter, you'll see that that's now calculated. The normal income is $1,000. Now I can then just drag that down and they'll all calculate automatically. So now I know what normal looks like. Now, then depending on whether you're going for 100% of top up or an 80% top up. So if I need to work out what 80% of the employee's income would be, so I just put in this as 80%, so that I've got a column heading, make that a bit wider. Now in this one, again, I would go, this will seem complicated, but it's not. Equal sum is that field, so I select it, which puts it in here, times 0.80, and close bracket. Now it's worked out what 80% is. Now I know, again, I can do the same thing, just drag this down, so I know for each employee what 80% of their normal pay would look like. So now to work out the top-up amount, if I wanted to do that, I could put in another column, which I'm going to put subsidy. Again, I'll just make that a bit bigger so that it fits. Right, and so the subsidy would be 585.80. Now again, depending on whether you've got full or part-time, in my case, I'm going to assume that they are all full-time because they're all over 20 hours, and the subsidy works on a greater than or less than 20 hours. So now I know what the subsidy is, and I do one final column, which is going to be the top-up. So I call that top-up. And here what I'm doing is I am taking that figure minus that figure, which will tell me what the top-up is. So again, I'm going to go equal sum bracket, and I'm going to go that minus that, close bracket, and I've got the amount. So again, I can then drag that down, and that will then show me for each employee how much I'm topping up. Now in this case, we've got this one as a positive top up. This one here, the 80% is fully covered by the subsidy, as is this one here. So in this case, you would only pay them this figure here. You wouldn't pay them the full subsidy. Well, I wouldn't anyway, so I would keep that, the additional cash, separately. So again, this is going to work out. So if I wanted to then replicate that, I simply go copy that row of cells, go Control C, which is the copy command, and put that into here and go Control V, and then it does the same thing. So now I've got the same scenario here where I've got for each employee, if it's a positive amount, it's a top up. If it's a negative amount, you would then just purely do the 80% figure. That's what you would use as the subsidy, and you wouldn't put in a top up. So hopefully that'll help. As I say, if you need help with this, just give us a call. I can send you an example of the spreadsheet and you can have a play with it. But that's a simple way of actually working out what your 80% looks like and what your top up amount looks like compared to what the normal looks like. So hopefully that helps.